Hey, in this video, you are going to see how to use Getida. Getida is software that allows you to get money back that Amazon might have lost. Maybe Amazon damaged your inventory and many other reasons. Getida can help you get your money back from Amazon. In this video, we're going to show you how to use Getida. It's going to be a detailed tutorial. I'm going to also say there's a review of Getida in the description. There's a video that explains to you more so what Getida is. We have also more videos with Yoni, who's our guest today, that are connected to Amazon reimbursements. So generally, what are reimbursements? How to get reimbursed by Amazon? What does it even mean? What does it mean when Amazon loses your inventory? All these videos are going to be in the description. And also there's going to be a link to a free Getida account with a specific coupon code that we can provide that gives you $400 in free reimbursements with Getida. That's all going to be linked down in the description for you. And today with me, Yoni, he's the CGO, Chief Growth Officer at Getida. He's been a guest on our channel multiple times, which is pretty cool, I think. Today, he is with us again to help us with a popular question like how to use Getida. And also say that sometimes people ask how to connect Getida to Seller Central. Also in the description, I'll add the video, that literally 2-minute video by Getida that explains how to do that really easy. So if you're here for that, that's down in the description for you. But also we're going to show you how to use Getida, detailed tutorial. Yoni, can you introduce yourself to us, man? It's good to have you here with us again.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the channel again, Vova. Always a pleasure. Yeah, so really quickly, I'm the co-founder and chief growth officer of Getida. I currently based in New Jersey. In a nutshell, Getida, we're a global organization. We have more than 140 people in our team in 7 countries. We operate on a global level. So whether you sell on Amazon US, Canada, Mexico, UK, EU, we can help you with FBA auditing and reconciliation and reimbursement. Yeah, that's kind of in a nutshell.
Yeah. So again, if those people who are maybe still not too much familiar and they want to know more about Getida, like what you guys do or Amazon reimbursements, all the videos are in the description. But for those who came for how to use Getida and tutorial, let's help people and show them how it works, how to actually use Getida to get money back from Amazon, where to click, what sections there are, what can you help with. So you can help with, let's say, reimbursements for lost items, damaged items. You can help with getting reimbursed for Amazon misplacing our FBA category fees, a bunch of stuff. So can you show it to us, Yoni, please?
Yeah, we're going to get heavy into the mix of it. So what I'm going
Yes.
to do, I'm going to share my screen and we'll jump right into the mix and let's do it.
I see your screen now. We're inside Getida dashboard.
All right, so welcome everybody to the Getida dashboard and platform. So before I dive into all the numbers, I just want to remind everybody that typically what happens is when you connect to Getida, we're going to go back 18 months on all the FBA transactions. Automatically, we're going to basically find, any of your inventory that got lost, damaged, destroyed, disappeared in the past 18 months inside Amazon's fulfillment centers and also between the warehouses and also when they ship it to the consumers and the consumers ship it back to Amazon with all the FBA refunds. We're going to find all these issues. Then we have a team that will open cases with Amazon. They're going to manage all the back and forth until there's a resolution. If you're eligible, you're going to get a reimbursement. So just like that, we're going to do all that work for you. And this is the first area here where it's called dashboard. We're going to get visibility. You're going to be able to see all that work in real time, right? Because behind the scenes, there's a whole team, there's a whole army working for you. But all that work is translated on a dashboard. And we actually won the Gold Award from the American Business Award for this innovation, right? Technology and human put together, you create this visibility. So just like that, when you log in on the top right side, you'll see a number. It's called potential financial recovery. It's just a very, very general number of how much data and the value of the data in terms of refunds and reimbursements that we're looking into. And this number will constantly change and update. As we find issues and we get you refunds, for example, this number will go down. As every day that goes by and we find new things, this number will go up, right? So this number will always kind of fluctuate and it gives you an idea what we're looking into. And then as you log in, you'll see automatically, it takes you to the past 30 days. And this account, you see we opened 22 cases. The success rate is 100%. And for now, so far, we got $234. Okay. But if you need, what we can do is we can just go back here in this account on this dates. And let's go back, I don't know, the past year and a half. Let's see what we did so far. And then you can always kind of click that and you see all the work that was done and the results. Let's see what happens. All right. So you see we opened 1,914 cases. The success rate is 86%, which means for every 100 cases that we open, 86 cases got reimbursed in recoveries. We got back more than $70,000, okay, to this account. And then you see here, you have the breakdown of all the cases. You have the case ID, what's the status of it, how much was it reimbursed, and the date that was filed. Now, this is all the mishmash of things, all the things you owe money for, right? It shows you kind of in this dashboard, and it's a whole mix of things. It's very many things. You can visit our website to learn all these things. It's more than like 20, 30 things. I don't want to kind of overwhelm anybody here and make you bored with all the things we look into. But what I can say is that for any case that involves a shipment, you'll have an information of the shipment ID. So if I click here, you see that all these cases are regarding shipments. That's when you ship your products to Amazon. Let's say you tell them, hey, I shipped 1,000 units and they only received 990. So you have 10 units missing. You need to reconcile that shipment. So any of the shipments that got reconciled, you have a shipment ID. But all the rest of the stuff will be here. If you really want to see what we did, you can always copy paste this case ID in your Sell Essential log, case log, and you'll see inside all the information. You see the mathematics, you see the numbers, you'll see a lot of things. Basically, every 30 days, we create a cycle. And if you want, you'll be able to go to the billing. I'm going to jump into billing real quick. You go into billing. Okay, you got logged out. It's a very popular dashboard. Yeah, you'll be able to go into billing. Let's go back again here. And you'll be able to see the statement. You can download the CSV, right? This Excel file. And you'll see the breakdown of each case and what was the reason of the refund. So if you really, really want to go deep into the details, you have the data here. But just like that, we keep it simple. The idea is to keep it simple for you guys. Sellers have enough to worry about. There's PPC, there's sourcing, there's launching, there's logistics, there's hiring, there's firing, a lot of stuff. In terms of the refunds, we want to make it as simple as possible. So just like that, we're going to go back 18 months. We're going to get you all the refunds. You're going to have all the data available here so you can kind of get an impression, a bird's view on what's going on. And that's pretty much high level on the dashboard, the first module. Okay, just to make it simple.
To me, it's pretty clear. Of course, if people have questions, they're welcome to ask. But I want to ask you, like, what's the difference between cash reimbursed and inventory reimbursed then? Because, like, for example, for a year and a half, we had 70K that Getida was able to get back to us with cash reimbursed. So we got money back. And what does it mean inventory reimbursed then?
Yeah, it's a great question. So there's two types of reimbursements that Amazon considers a reimbursement. One of them is cash, where they just pay you money. The other type, which is usually very, very small and also typically rare. They don't usually use this method, but they might. Yeah, so what they do is if they have an inventory that's the same as yours, let's say you're selling Nike or Adidas or Reebok, okay, or even iPhones. Okay, so they damage your iPhone or they lost it and they can give you money. But instead, if they have their own inventory of this same exact product, it could be an iPhone or Adidas, whatever the product is, and they'll give it back to you. This account is actually a type of account where it's a reseller. Okay, so it's for big brands. So Amazon was able to give back the unit as an inventory. So you see, statistically, it's very, very small. Yeah. We see maybe, and also typically it's for the resellers. But if you have private label, typically they're not able to replace your item because it's very unique. It's only yours. So this is something that's out there, but most of the time it doesn't really affect the private label sellers. And even the resellers, you'll see numbers pretty small here. So this is like from the recoveries, this is like 3%, up to 3%. So 2,000 from 70,000, like something like 3%, I think.
Cool, man. Pretty much understood. And that's the dashboard. Pretty much clear.
Okay, so now I want to remind you guys, whatever we can get you refunds, we'll get you the refunds. Great. You don't really have to do anything. But now I'm going to take you to two modules. One of them is called inbound shipments, and the second one is pick and pack. If you use these modules, we're going to get you even more refunds. Okay. Once again, we'll get you all the refunds that we can so you don't have to do anything. But if you use our system and our platform and engage with it, you're going to get even more. So let's go to the first one so you see what you can do to get even more refunds. Okay. As you see, as I log in here, this module focuses on all the shipments. Okay. And this is what we can do here. There's another dashboard that focuses on the shipments that have an issue and needs attention. This shipment has an issue and needs to be reconciled and it's worth, and here you can actually filter this by potential value. So you start working on the shipments that has the most value all the way down to the shipments that have less and less value because you want to use your time properly. You, your VA, whoever's working for you, whatever, right? So this is the dashboard. And then if you go down here, you'll see there's a summary. There's a summary of all these shipments together. They're worth $16,000 and need to be focused and addressed in order to be reconciled. Okay, so in order to reconcile the shipments, you need documents. And there's typically two types of documents that Amazon might ask you for. We give you here the information. So you see that 10 shipments here, they need this type of document, which is called POD, which is proof of delivery. Okay, proof of delivery typically is a BOL. It's a bill of lading. It's a piece of paper that when your inventory is delivered to the Amazon fulfillment center, Amazon will stamp it and say, yeah, delivered. It's called proof of delivery. Okay, and you'll be able to click here. And we'll give you an Excel file with the 10 shipments that need proof of delivery. So you'll be able to send this information to us and we're going to be able to reconcile these shipments and get you the refunds. Okay.
We get it from the freight forwarder, right? The person who helps
your
us.
Carrier, freight forwarder, 3PL, whoever did the logistics for you. So make sure you use those type of companies that are very professional and they have proof of deliveries. If you're using somebody very, very cheap, okay, and they don't really provide that service of proof of delivery and your inventory is worth $100,000 or $1 million, you might have an issue. When they deliver it, there's no documentation, there's no proof. Amazon is not going to give you the money if they lose $1 million worth of inventory. So it's very important that sellers know the game. Now, I do want to mention that 80% of the users that we have do not typically need proof of delivery, these documents. And why? Because they buy their shipping inside Amazon. In other words, if you buy shipping inside Amazon Seller Central, it's called buying from Amazon partner carriers.
Yeah.
And if you use partner carriers, they have the tracking information. They don't need proof of delivery. They already know it got delivered. They can rely on the data that is because they're the one who sold you this information within their platform. It's only the sellers that use outside carriers, outside of Seller Central, which are non-partner carriers. That's when Amazon will require this information. 80% of our sellers typically don't have that issue because you use Amazon's partner carrier. But if you use outside, this is what you need. So this is the worst you'll see it. Okay, but typically most sellers don't need this issue. So this is the first type of document. The second type of document is proof of purchase, POP. And here you see that 8 shipments need POP. You can download it and focus on those shipments. And POP or proof of purchase, basically there's two options here for the documents. The first option is invoice. If you know the Amazon, you can give them the invoice. They see that you purchased it and you give it to Amazon, they'll do the investigation. And of course, if you're eligible, they're going to give you the refunds or the reimbursement. So that's the first option. Typically, this works more for the resellers because they buy from distributors, from brokers, from the brands, whatever. If you are a private label seller and you have brand registry, you do not need to provide an invoice. You don't have to disclose your supplier information. Instead of an invoice, you can give them packing slip. And if you want to give them a packing slip, we have this tool here called DocMaster, which is a packing slip tool. We have a patent on this tool. Within a few clicks, you'll be able to generate the packing slip that is needed for the shipment. And boom, we have the documents you need, and we're able to open investigation and reconcile the shipment for you. Okay, so once again, we have POD, proof of delivery. Most sellers don't need that, but if you do, now you know why. POP, it's either an invoice, or if you private label with brand registry, you can give them a packing slip. And we have this tool. This tool, I'm going to log in. We'll show you how to use it. But go ahead. What was your question?
Pretty much, could we see the login?
Yeah. Let's go into DocMaster. So if you want to use the DocMaster, let's log in and see where it takes us. Okay. So over here, when you log in, it will show you the shipments, and it's going to organize the shipments for you from the shipments that are about to expire, from the newest, to the oldest, because you're racing against time. Oh, I do want to remind sellers that in the United States, you have 9 months to reconcile the shipments and get the refunds. After 9 months, your eligibility goes away. You're not going to be able to get those refunds and that money. Okay. And if you're selling in EU or UK, you have 6 months. So the system already organizes from the ones that need immediate attention. So let's log into the first one. And then over here, you see that when you kind of set up Getida and the platform, you're going to provide us all this information. So automatically, it's already going to be here in this information. This is basically the company information. You have the company logo and the company name and address. And then over here, you can have all the information about the shipment, where it shipped from, what's the shipment ID and everything. And over here, you're going to have the shipment items. Okay. What's the FNSKU, what's the SKU, and over here, the quantity. Now, keep in mind that in the system, if you need, you can adjust the quantity. You can edit it. So instead of 3 units, maybe only ship 2, right? So you can adjust it and make 2. But if everything's okay, you just keep it as it is and you're good to go. And then the system will already have your first name, your last name, and your signature. So all you got to really do on this page when you come in, all you got to do really is create a packing list. Yeah, you have to do 1 click, and then the system sets it up and will look something like that. And then you can see, yes, everything looks good, and you're done. That's pretty much it.
And then you send it to Amazon. You submit it, or
no. The moment we say yes, we get this information and we submit it. We take care of it for you.
Okay, nice, man. I understand.
Yeah. So once again, we're gonna get you all the refunds that we can without your involvement. But if you use the system and take action, we're gonna get more data or more documents so we can work for you. That's why we created this whole ecosystem, this whole platform, to make it as easy as possible for you and remove away all the complication and all this education. You have to constantly educate yourself to understand what they want from you. So we created this whole environment to make it as simple as possible, and it's a game changer. Okay, let me just move back to the other tab. Let's see if I got this correctly. So you see now these 8 shipments that needed 8 documents, was really easy to create those documents. Instead of you going back, trying to figure it out, trying to find, go to Excel and make it, you have DocMaster, and it will take you like a minute or 2 maybe to create 8 shipments. But imagine you have 80 shipments, or you have 150 shipments and need 150 documents.
Yeah.
That's what becomes a real challenge for many sellers, especially when they grow and they scale. So this system makes it very, very simple. What we do recommend is that once a month, in the beginning of the month, you, yourself, somebody from your team or your VA goes into Getida. They go into inbound shipments. They see all the shipments that need attention. And of course, the shipments that need, packing slip or proof of purchase, you just log into DocMaster and boom, a few clicks, you flush it. We have what we need and we go to work for you. So because that's what we work with many big sellers, big agencies or aggregators. They have an SOP, standard procedure. They log in once a month, the beginning of the month. They see all the ones that need documents. They make a few clicks. They're done, finished. Yeah. But you have to do that. We cannot do that for you. You have to kind of do it, and also to make sure that all the data and especially the quantities are correct. This is the first module, inbound shipments. Now I'm going to take you guys to the next module, pick and pack. Before that, any questions, Vova?
No, it's all clear to me, man. All understood and all well. I'll remind to our listeners, viewers, we have a free account of Getida to try it out. It's actually free. You only have to sort of pay the guys if they're able to recover things for you. If they are not able to, then it's free to use. You can just use the platform, but only in case you get money back, then they get money from that. I believe it's 25%, Yoni, right?
Correct. So just like that, it's free to join Getida. It's free to
Yeah.
get access to all this platform and all this information. There's no subscription. There's no monthly contract. There's no contract or anything like that. You can cancel at any time. We only charge a fee based on recovery. So let's say you connect to Getida, and then the first 30 days, we get you $100 in refunds. You pay 25%, which would be $25. And then the next 30 days, we get you $0. How much do you pay, Vova?
$0.
$0. So it's very, very simple, very easy. It's performance based. So, but like Vova said, if you visit, what's the website? What's the address?
Getida.com/Vova. Vova 400. Yeah.
There we go. So
There
if you
you
visit there, the first $400 that we're going to get for you are going to be free. We're not going to charge you anything. So you're going to have $400 extra in your pocket if you try this offer. After $400, if you want to leave us, you can leave. If you want to stay, you can stay. Whatever you want, we'll be happy to serve you. Okay? Yeah. Let's go to the next module. It's called Pick and Pack. Let's see what we got. Okay, now that we're here in Pick and Pack, you see this module. So automatically, you're going to have all the information for each ASIN regarding the weight and dimensions of the product. So I do want to kind of remind everybody that when you get an order, Amazon fulfills the order, right? So they're going to pick the unit from the bin, they're going to package it in a box, and they're going to ship it out, and they're going to charge you a fee for that. It's called a fulfillment fee. Another name for it is pick and pack fee. Okay, so the amount of fee that you pay as a seller to Amazon is based on the weight and dimensions. So the larger and heavier Amazon thinks the product is, the more you're going to pay them in fees. So here, what you can do is, if needed, you can just go in. If you have a small catalog and just a few ASINs, you can do this manually. So you go here and say, hey, you know what? This product is actually not 16 inches. It's only 4 inches here. And instead of 12 inches, it's only 7. And instead of being 2 pounds, okay, it's actually only 1 pound. And you click save. And the moment you do that, it triggers our system. And then we're going to run an audit. And if we see that Amazon is overcharging you with fees, we're going to open a case. And we're going to accomplish 2 things. The first thing we're going to accomplish is we're going to update the data with Amazon. So going forward, they stop overcharging you. Okay, so you save a lot of money going forward. And then the second thing is we're going to go back 90 days and we're going to get you refunds in the past 90 days of what they overcharged you. If they overcharge you $10,000, we're going to get you $10,000. If they overcharge you $100,000, we'll get you $100,000. Whatever it is, we're going to get it for you. That's kind of the 2 missions that we have. So if you have a small catalog, you can do it manually. But if you have a big catalog with many ASINs, you can export the table, and it's going to be an Excel file. You can have all your data there in bulk, and then you just upload back the file, and that's it. We're going to have all the data that we need to check your inventory, all your inventory, and take action if needed if they're overcharging you with fees. So once again, if you use the system and you give us your data, we're going to be able to recover even more money, right? Because remember, the first dashboard is just to see what we're doing in general. The shipments, you need attention and documents for the shipments, so we create a whole system for that. And pick and pack, it's data. It's data regarding your ASINs and the weight and dimensions. So if you provide us with this data, we're going to get you even more refunds. So this is kind of the main attraction with the Getida platform. Of course, payment methods is pretty simple. If you always need to update your credit card on file, not a problem. If you have more than one Amazon brand or an Amazon store, you can actually click here and you're going to be able to add more and more stores. Or you're going to have one login and you have many stores on the same login. That's what typically agencies do, or big aggregators, right? So then you're able to really change and shift between each account and take actions on each account, especially with DocMaster when you need to create documents for the shipments. And then of course the billing that we saw earlier, you're going to see all the statements, and after they're paid, you're going to be able to see invoices. So you can give this to your bookkeeper or accountant. And then refer seller. If you know any other sellers that might enjoy their money, enjoy having Getida, you're going to get your own special code. And then when you send it out, you're going to get a $50 statement credit. Okay, free credits with Getida. And then FAQ is if you have any questions, stuff like that, you can learn more. So you have all this information here. And then Profit Boost is something that's coming soon. I don't want to confuse anybody yet, but you're going to see it soon. It's a surprise because we're constantly adding more and more features to Getida. So there's more to come. Questions, thoughts, ideas, Vova?
Right. So I wanted to mention also, let's say in inbound shipments and in pick and pack, we had a FAQ area as well in those specific parts. So I guess, of course, if people after watching this video, to me, it was quite clear, Yoni, but maybe again, somebody is like getting somewhat of problem, some kind of problem somewhere, even after watching these FAQs and pick and pack and inbound shipments plus the FAQ area, or you just have a question, you're welcome to ask even without watching these things, but they can help you kind of.
Yeah, I do want to show you another thing, guys. If you look on the bottom here, you can click.
Mm-hmm.
And you can drop your information and you're gonna enter a live chat,
Yeah.
a live team. So that's always available for you. So feel free to use that as well. It's always there. And if you in the FAQ, you'll see that you have if you need more information, there's email addresses over here of our team members and the type of issue.
That's
If
great.
you have a billing question, you go here. If you want to have an activation question, you have here of general support and technical issue or anybody from sales. And then if you want to talk to the owners, I'm one of the owners, even my email is over here to make sure that we're always available for you. You know, we're here to help the sellers. The sellers are working very, very hard. It's not a simple industry. It's a professional industry that becomes more and more professional every single day. You know, 10 years ago was really cool. You can kind of make money on the side. Even today, you can do that just to get started.
Yeah.
But if you want to get the maximum potential from this industry, you're going to have maximum attention and maximum learning, like this channel, right? The Vova Evan channel is really great to learn. So you can really upgrade your abilities and understanding of what to do and how to do it best. So yeah, we're here for you guys on refunds and reimbursements, but anything else, feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah, man. We're going to have in the description, again, all the links that we mentioned today. So we're going to have free account of Getida with a special promo code VOVA400 that grants $400 in free reimbursements. That means if you get reimbursed $100, $200, $300, you're not going to get charged for that. So that's pretty cool, I think. That's an affiliate link, means that if you ever do business with Getida, I'm going to get a little commission from that. No extra cost to you, but in this way, it's possible to support free content I'm doing. I'm only doing free content, and it's been over 600 videos on YouTube amongst a few channels, like almost 100 blog posts. So it's been fun. It's all based like on my experience of selling on Amazon, of meeting people in the industry. So I'm really happy to be sharing this. So this literally goes to supporting this project, and I'm happy to give back. So that's one thing that's going to be there, first link. Second, I'm going to have Getida review for those who maybe seen the tutorial, but they're like, but who are these guys? What's going on here? In the description. Generally, how to get reimbursed from Amazon. We have 3 ways. Also in the description, a video with Yoni.
So you're starting, this is the video where we can teach you how to do it. If you want to try to do it yourself or your team, you can learn how to do it. No problem. We're happy to give that content, that data. And of course, if you want our support to back you up and still do refunds, feel free to also take the $400 offer that Vova created for you guys. This is the system. This is the environment we want to create where you get impact, where you can really become a professional.
Yeah, Yoni, maybe some last thing that you would like to wish us for 2023.
2023 is going to be a special year because in the past 2-3 years, it's been very, very good for the e-commerce environment. Because of COVID, people got stuck at home. They had to kind of shop online. But 2022, this year that we're closing, the growth has been slowed down. The industry is still growing, but it's slower. And of course, there's much more competition coming in. So 2023 will be the year where, you know, the best players, the smarter players, the ones that are really focused on making revenue and making profit, and they know all the ins and outs of the game, will be more successful. And the ones that were kind of half in, half out, not so focused on a hobby on the side, probably might detach from the game because they might even lose money. You know, everybody's in this to make money, but the moment you start kind of losing money and not realize that you have to kind of really change and upgrade how you do things and be competitive and really be a killer, you might, you know, kind of stay away from the race. So prepare yourself. It's going to be more competitive. It's going to be more challenging, but learn. So this is a great channel to learn. Keep learning. Watch all the 600 videos if they're all Amazon related. But if it may be only, there we go. So there's a lot to learn. And just from this channel, there's of course many other environments where you can learn, and there's masterminds and courses, but not just yourself as the business owner, your team. If you're too busy to watch this video or the rest of the videos, make sure, and you have a team, make sure they watch it, they learn. So this is a learning game. This is the learning industry because it's new. It keeps on changing. So put your mind in the right place and you're probably going to be very successful. But make sure your mind is in the right place.
Cool, man. That's a great mindset for 23. And hopefully we're going to be amongst those who are able to stay in game and continue with the Amazon businesses we have, or service providers, or any other people in the sphere. And generally, I'm wishing everyone a great year. In the description, we have again all the links from the video, all the videos, all the links relevant to Getida. Yoni, thank you a lot for today, man. And I wish you a great day. Yes, thank you, man.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.